Right, everybody. I'm alive and that. Just watched the Thunderball film a bit late and that's yeah. But yeah, great film, great film. Yeah. So, put a picture up, yeah. Well, Sean Connery, fourth time as being James Bond. Yeah, it's not one of the best ones, but because it's a Bond film, it is fucking great. Uh, there we go. Yeah, this the Thunderball. Oh, um, there we go. Thunderball. Sean Connery. Look up, look down, look out. James Bond does it everywhere. Yeah. As you can see by the cover to Thunderball, quite a lot of action. But real slow burn, really slow. And I think it was one of them where there was like, okay, we're gonna make a great Bond film in that, but we're gonna have to save most of the budget for the end, like because a lot of underwater scenes was going on, and so even though not much was happening, it'd have been costly, and that to get the underwater scenes filmed and all that shit, and all the sort of stuff that happens underwater. But great film, though, great film. Sean Connery, as I said. Let's see, Google some names and that. Yeah, Claudine. Okay, as Donny Moore. And I'll share this screen. Yeah, Lucinda Pulwitty as Florida, but Martine Beswick as Paula, Adolf Selly as Elmo Largo, always for the Thunderball. Molly Peters as Patricia. Um, Faring. Desmond Llewellyn as Q. Louis Maxwell as Miss Moneypenny. Rick Van Nutter as Felix Leiter. Uh, Guy Dolman as Count Lippy. Reginald Berwick as Kenningston. Rosie Abb as Madam Beutler. Bernard Lee as M. L. Cameron as Pinder. Paul Stafford Station as Francisco Devel, Philip Lucky as Vegas, Ronald Cleaver as a foreign secretary, Michael Brown as Jenny, yeah, Edward Wood as Air Vice, yeah, Leonard Scott as group captain and that, yeah, Tom Clegg as Largo, don't know how many Largos there was, but yeah. But yeah, some great actors in that, mostly women in this film, because it is one of them where they do try and make the females more sort of active than there is quite sort of active females in the Bond films, but yeah, the spoiler when it comes to the spoilers, like it is one of them where the Bond girl does it quite a lot at the end, not loads, but for the Bond film from the 60s, that is quite a bit. But yeah, loads of like bikini shots and that. There we go. Look at this. Like, obviously, they don't do that in the film. That's a photo shoot. Because never ever seen where they're all three on the beach like that. But yeah, Donny Moore. Yeah, yeah. Sean Connery, yeah, on the beach with Donny Moore sucking out some poison from her foot. Steps on one of them barracuda fish or something. Steps on some of that spikes her in her foot, and she's all like, "Ah, shit!" And Sean Connery's all like, "Bend over." Oh no, 10 on your side, on your front. But anyway, yeah, great film on that. It's sort of like the end bit. It's a bit crazy. I don't think that happened at the end. Oh, like where right at the end is bit where if you know what I'm talking about, you're like, oh yeah, yeah, that was a bit crazy. But still a great film. A great film though. Bit of a slow burn. Quite easy to fucking follow the plot because two of these atomic bombs get stolen from this fighter plane. Well, when I say they get stolen, the fighter plane gets like oh um hijacked. The plane gets hijacked and then crashes with these bombs underwater, and they don't know where the bombs are because it goes off radar, and so they don't know where exactly and so Bond's got to go find out where this aeroplane with these two atomic bombs, because it's 1965, so there was like the nukes nearly. There was well capable of taking down a city, because they get used for ransom, as in the good old like spy films where they want £100 million, or else they're going to blow up a major city in England or America. And spoiler alert, they pick Miami. So Bond's got to stop Thunderball from blowing up Miami with. I think he only needs to use one. I think they're gonna save the other one for like fucking another place to blow up. And so yeah, but they're definitely gonna blow up Miami. So because they can't pay. I don't think that the British and American governments want to pay it, and so they're like, oh well, yeah, he's just gonna have to blow it up, isn't he? And so yeah, but Bond saved the day. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, give a bit of a review. Oh, yeah. I think it's a bit too big now. Here we go. Yeah. So, there we go. Thud review. But yeah, the review though. Great film, as I say. About James Bond having to find out where these atomic bombs have been hidden after they get hijacked off a plane and that. Not much action as Bond films go from start to finish, but quite a bit of action at the end. But a slow burn. It's a slow burn. But great film, though. Great film. Got gadgets and other sort of Bond moments in it and that. And it has the famous "It's a Man, Baby" from Austin Powers, where right at the beginning, sort of thing, he sees a woman, and you think it's a woman, and it is a woman, obviously when they've been filming it, but it's supposed to be a dude, and then like later on, because he follows this dude back who's dressed up like a woman, because it's been to a funeral, and that. And then it's a dude, and Bond like punches at him, and obviously he don't say the line, "It's a man, baby," but that's where the got it from, like Austin Powers. Yeah, great. As I say, great underwater scenes in this. It's one of them where if you like to see a lot of people getting harpooned, this is the movie for you. It, it's not until the like last 20 minutes that it all kicks off. I say it's a bit of a slow burn, but when it kicks off, though, it does kick off. Yeah, a lot of people getting harpooned, and quite a few bits of like Bond having quite a bit of sex. Obviously, you don't see him having sex, but a few times Bond's like getting off with like staff and Bond girls and that. Yeah, quite a bit of action, but not loads. So it's a slow burn. It's quite a bit of talking ish, and then most of the action it don't involve James Bond's character until like near the end. Well, there's a bit of action, but not loads. One of them films where they're like, yeah, we'll put some action in it, but because they probably spent loads for the end fight scene, and that they haven't put loads of fucking action in it, so it's not action packed. It's not one of them action packed Bond films. Well, it's all great in that. Because the effects they use and all, some pretty good for its day, like effects and that. And then I think like there's bits where the really built the thing. That's why I think there's not much action going down because at the end they must have spent loads on the end fight scene and that, and so there's loads of action at the end that like cost loads to do, and so they couldn't do much for the Bond film itself. One of them where they saved it all for the end. Real good, like. Say it's a Bond film, so you know it's going to be great. Well, it's not one of the greatest because I'm more into the Roger Moore though, so I'm like, oh yeah. Uh, prefer the tongue in cheek sort of shit and that. Well, anyway, let's get on to the spoilers. Let's move this. It says spoilers and that. No. Shit, where is it? There we go. Right. Yeah. Eyeball. Spoilers. Right. Yeah, the S is missing from the end. Oh, you can only, but it says spoiler. So, yeah. So, as I say, it starts off with Bond at this funeral. And what appears to be a woman, like, it, it's a man, baby. And yeah, you don't notice this until like um, Bond sort of like follows Air back slash him to like a sort of castle hall living room in some one of them castle orchard houses and that. And yeah, Bond like punches at him slash air, and as I say, he doesn't say the line. It's a man, baby. He says something on the lines of, "Oh yeah, you walked funny or something, or you shut the car door where a lady wouldn't shut the car door." Well, anyway, they have a fight in that. Pretty good fight in that. It is one of them fight scenes where they proper go for it. They're not like tarting around or out. They really like throw themselves into the part and that, and like you using sort of like weapons and that, and chairs and poker sort of thing, because yeah, he gets slammed. Bond gets like beaten up a bit with a poker and fucks up his ribs a bit and later on. But yeah, Bond like fucking snaps his neck because like it turns out it's a like Spectre agent and that chokes him out and that just snaps his neck. And then like there's people like fucking, oh yeah, he took some flowers onto him and all, just to like add insult to injury. Then he legs it off onto like this castle balcony with a fucking jetpack, where you see like in like he jetpacks off the roof onto like the street below and gets into his Austin Martin DB7, or it could be DB6. I'm not quite sure. Well, I think it's the 7. But yeah, and dudes rush out sort of thing. Like, but he has his metal plate that he puts up in the back, and that yeah, eh, pop culture, great about it. And then like yeah, they shoot at the metal plate, but it stops, and then he squirts water out of the back of the car, and then obviously burns up. But the Thunderball theme comes on and that, and it's all like, oh yeah, James does it again, sort of thing. Yeah, you have like the Thunderball sort of music goes off, and then you see oh Thunderball himself, um, the I forget. He's not called Thunderball. He's called Lagun or Lagan, so something like that. But he's sort of like got an eye patch and that shit, and he goes to like it's like a bank sort of thing, but there's a secret entrance to like this Spectre meeting that's going on. So he's all like talking and that, and then one of the dudes gets electrocuted in the chair because he's been embezzling from the corporation of Spectre and that, and so he's been found out and that, and then Thunderball, the gun, whatever his name is, he sort of like tells his plan of stealing two oh, not automatic. Oh, what they called? Shit. Also, atomic. Yeah, that's it. Atomic bombs. Yeah, he tells his plan to steal atomic bombs and that, and they're like, "All right, yeah." And then you see Bond that he's in like this country club doing like relaxation and that, and like yeah, there's a dude who's had plastic surgery and that like he's checking him out sort of thing and that. Like, and then like he he goes onto this stretching machine, but this dude oh like saw him like looking around, puts the stretching machine on a real fast setting, and it nearly like breaks Bond's back or whatever and that. But then he sort of like don't really complain and that. He just shags the staff who could got in trouble and that. But you know, like, well, I think we'll make up for it and that sort of shit. Oops, sorry. Yeah, so then after he's like knobbed her and that, he sort of just goes into a sauna place where they're in their little sauna box and locks a dude in a sauna box and puts it on high for some reason. Then he sort of like goes back to shagging the bed and that, and then you see this dude who's a pilot, but he's talking to this bed and that, and he's saying right, he's gonna be leaving, but when he goes to leave, the dude who's had plastic surgery to look like him is outside the door, and he shoots him and that with this poisonous gas that kills him. And then the dude who got the plastic surgery to look like the pilot, he takes the pilot's position because he's a UN like pilot that's going on a flight with these these bombs that they're wanting to steal and that. And so like the dude who has the plastic surgery tries to like rearrange the price that is being paid to do it he wants twice as much as what they're paying him. Well, anyway, they say, all right then, yeah, just do the job. So anyway, he goes on this because it's in the 1960s and that, and so I think it's a Harriet jet they're on. But for the 1960s, it's their top fucking military fucking aeroplane and that. So they're on this Harrier jet and that with these two atomic bombs and that. And like the dude, he swaps the air mask supply with a poison and he kills the others and that. And then like sort of like lands the plane and that. And then Bond finds out like the dude who the killed is in the hospital where Bond is and that, and then Bond sort of like sees him in that, but at the time he don't know that he's been replaced. So Bond sort of like not really concerned. He just sort of like thinks, right, it's some dude that's dead and that, and then some dude tries to attack him, but Bond fucks him up by smacking the phone on his arm and putting him through a window and that. Then walks off and that breaks the fire alarm. And yeah, goes back to bed with his bed and that. And yeah. Yeah, and then like the reports of the plane being down gets circled, but they fly underneath the radar, so they don't know exactly where it's landed. And then this is underwater and that, and so Thunderball he goes down to where the Harrier jet has landed underwater, and instead of cutting the dude free, he cuts the air supply to his oxygen mask, and so he drowns him in that. And then they take the um, atomic bombs that they've like took from the jet and that, and yeah, these had the jet and all with camouflage and netting that they have, from like DMC of like seaweed sort of stuff. It's not all that good, but if you don't know exactly where you're looking for, then it is quite useful. Yeah, and like there's some good underwater sort of machinery, like little speed sort of torpedo things that they're riding and that. I think this is where like most of the budget went on all like the underwater gadgets that the bad crew use, I think, and that. So yeah, Bond doesn't have all that many gadgets apart from a little well, he has a Geiger counter on a watch, and then he has a little oxygen tank thing that's about as portable and that. So, but yeah, not all that many gadgets off of Bond, but the bad guys have quite some nice gadgets. Yeah, well, anyway, they get like the bombs onto like the ship and that, and then I think yeah, and then like Bond, he's sort of like driving along, and then the car follows him, but then this bike that this bear's riding with rocket launchers on it, she blows up the car and that, and then he goes to a meeting and that with M, and he sees like the picture of the dude who was the pilot and that, and he's like, oh, he was dead, sort of thing, and I'm like, oh, he couldn't have been because he flew it, and so he's like, oh, well, this is suspicious, and there's a picture of him with his sister, and so he's like, oh yeah, I'll go investigate that, see what's happening there. Yeah, where like M's sort of like, oh yeah, he's got nothing to do with her being real good looking and that. And yeah, Bond's all like, yeah, well, you got to do it and that to, for the mission, you know. Yeah, um, I forget exactly where she is, but he flies there anyway. Um, some beach sort of thing, like with coral reefs and all that shit. And then yeah, he he gets talking to her, sort of saves her life, sort of thing, like freeing her foot from coral and that, and then like getting a lift from her onto like the beach where there's a like um hotel resort sort of thing, and that got all the fucking like bar and swimming pool and that there, and so yeah, he's chilling out with her and that, just sort of like getting to know her and all that, doing the Bond infiltration sort of technique and that, yeah. And I think he finds out like, oh yeah, she's the niece to Thunderball, and so he's all like, all right, yeah, like I'll have to hang around with you, sort of thing. And, yeah, yeah, it's a bit boring this bit, so I think. So, yeah, it's all like talking, but yeah, it's sort of like just sort of chill out and that, have a bit of game of like baccarat or something, Bond's winning and that, and then he gets she's called Donimo, the niece, and that, and yeah, a little dance with her and that sort of thing. Okay, just get a bit of intel and that. Then yeah, goes back to the hotel room and that, and then fucking has a tape recorder in a book, plays the tape recorder back, airs that there's someone in his bathroom and that, so it beats the shit out of him, tells him to like piss off and that, and Phoenix Lighter's there and that, and then yeah, the doodle bomb beat up goes back to Thunderball, and then Thunderball chucks him into a pool of sharks and that. So it's showing up like the bad guy fucking um, qualities and that shining through. So yeah, Bond he meets up with Q. Q gives him like this watch that is a Geiger counter, so any radioactive um, atomic bombs are going to be able to get picked up on this watch, and that. Yeah, it gives him a little underwater camera, and he has a like jetpack, or underwater jetpack sort of thing that you don't see him use until the end, but it gives him it anyway. And a little air can stir of oxygen that he can use for about 4 or 5 minutes underwater, and that. And so yeah. Oh yeah, and gives him a little mini um, flare gun, but it's not a gun. It's more of like a little pen, a flare pen, but it's like a flare gun or a little flare party popper where is used later on in the film and that. So yeah, a Bond and Felix and that. Yeah, they go up and that, and then like yeah, tape is delivered with the ransom demand for the £100 million, or they're gonna blow up a British or American city. So like they don't want to pay him and that, but if they can't find where the atomic bombs are, they have to. But yeah, so Bond and Felix and that they fucking go to like the ship and that, and Bond gets like in his scuba diving gear and that, and like takes a few pictures of underneath the hull of the ship and sees like there's a trap door. So like he knows, oh yeah, there's something dodgy up there. And I think the Geiger counter and all shows him like, oh yeah, there's some nuclear up there, or radioactive anyway. And like yeah, they got a camera, and like yeah, they see Bond beating the shit out of like one of the under scuba divers, and that cuts his air line and that, so he has to surface. Then yeah, takes pictures and fucks off sort of thing. And yeah, they start dropping like hand grenades and that, but none of them kill Bond. One of them makes his ears ring a bit, but yeah, he sort of like swims off and that. And yeah, they get the pictures developed and that, and Bond gets a lift. Well, before he gets a lift from like a Spectre agent, and that was a female Spectre agent. And she sort of like is helping Thunderball and that. And Bond doesn't know this at the time and that, and so like yeah, he gets a lift and that, and starts talking to Thunderball and that. They do a bit of clay pigeon shooting, shows him the sharks and that. Then Bond has like a female agent, but she gets kidnapped and that. And Bond then sort of like goes to find out where she is. But when he finds her, she's committed suicide by cyanide pills or something. So yeah, he goes back sort of like out, but then he's caught by a dude fighting and that, and then landing the shark sort of pole and that, and then there's the famous bit where they really did put a shark in with Sean Connery, and you see him like looking real worried, like you would do and that. But he's got his little air canister, so yeah, he survives like underwater and swims out through the vent that the sharks were coming through, and like escapes back to his hotel room and that. And then like yeah, he sees that Spectre agent in the air hotel room, but was next to his and that, and she's in the bath and that, and yeah, he gets a bit chatty with her and that, and she's all like, "Oh yeah, pass me somewhat to wear." So he passes her some slippers and that, and then like yeah, you don't see her tits, but you would do if you was there. I bet you Sean Connery did because like yeah, she gets up and puts the towel around, but yeah, you don't see how obviously and that, and then yeah, the sort of like um start shagging and that, and hooking sort of like get sort of um comfortable and that shit with there, but she sets him up with some goons that come to the door. They take his gun and that, and like yeah, there's gonna be sort of taking him away to meet Thunderball, I think, to get tortured for information and that. But as they're in the car, he chucks some spirits over them and that, and then lights them because like there's a drunk that's offering them drink at this carnival, and then he sort of like escapes through the carnival and that, and like yeah, loads of sort of like people like Mardi Gras in it and that. So then, like, he gets shot in the leg, but he patches his leg up, and then he asks this lass to dance and that because he's found a little bit where they're dancing, but the Spectre female agent finds him, sort of starts dancing with him, and like this bit's a bit corny, but then they're gonna shoot Bond in the back, but just before they shoot Bond in the back, he turns the female Spectre agent around, and they shoot her in the back instead. Bit of a waste because she's quite nice and that, but she's an evil Spectre agent. So, and then like yeah, he puts her sort of like in a seat and that, and then like yeah, it's getting close to time, like 14 hours left and that, and so Bond's in a helicopter now, looking for because like yeah, when they shot the female Spectre agent, they all fucked up and didn't even like bother killing Bond. So Bond got back and now he's in an helicopter with Felix Leiter looking around and that, and they nearly checked all of the bay where they think this um, Harrier jet fighter is with these atomic bombs and that. And like, yeah, there's some sharks around it. So Felix Leiter shoots the shark and that. So there was sort of fucking feed off the shark that got shot. then Bond sort of dives in there, sort of thing. Gets underneath the camouflage netting that they put over this Harrier jet and that. Finds the cockpit and that. Finds the pilot that was pretending to be the niece's brother, and so he takes his dog tags and a watch off him and that. And swims back up to the surface and that tells Felix Leiter that the atomic fucking bombs have been took away and that they're not there. And so he goes swimming with Donimo, who's the niece and that. And she spikes a foot with a poisonous fish, so he sort of sucks it out of the poison, and then he shows her the dog tags and watch of her brother. Tells her oh yeah, your brother's dead, and Thunderbolt killed him, sort of thing. And then she's all like, oh, I forget his name, but he's the henchman to Thunderbolt. Is behind you. So Bond turns around with a harpoon gun and spears him to a palm tree, which is a famous bit that you might have seen in that. Real good in that. And then after spearing him and that he sort of gets a kiss and that, and then goes to this place where she said, oh yeah, part of the island and that. So Bond checks it out, and then they've got now. This is where it all gets exciting and that, because there's a lot of underwater action going down with these little submarine boat jet things that they have. But Donimov gets caught though with that camera that Bond gave her to look to see if there was any radiation signals coming from it, and so she gets tied up in a room and that, and then Bond's homing signal, because he has a homing signal pill that he takes so he can get tracked and that. And Felix Leiter comes and sort of saves him and that in a helicopter, gets him sort of airlifted. That uses the flare gun, what was more of a flare pen that signals to where he is and that. Pretty basic stuff, sort of thing. But it's 60s, but well, they found out oh yeah, the Thunderball and his men underwater are planting this bomb in Miami and that, and so there's a team of Marines or whatever that get airdropped in there with harpoon guns, and this is where the budget gets spent, I reckon, because there's loads of harpoon action going down underwater, harpooning each other and that. Real good fight scene and that. Bond sort of joins in sort of halfway through sort of thing and that, and he's got a jetpack sort of thing that he speeds through and that, kicks a bit of ass and that. Shoots this drawbridge sort of thing that's an old shipwreck that like fucking knocks out two bad guys and that. And he gets followed by three bad guys, and he sort of like does, but does them sort of like um through a like ship hole thing that they follow him down, and he goes out of the side bit and then plants a bomb and just blows them up and that. And yeah, um, then like yeah, beats up another dude, takes his sort of like speedo sort of underwater sort of machine and that. And yeah, starts like beating up a few other people and that, taking the mask off it, and then like as a fight with Thunderball, like but Thunderball fucks off back to his ship, and then so Bond follows him, but he can't get into the ship, and this is where like I think they spent the money because this sort of ship, sort of like to get more speed, it fucking halves itself and leaves the back half just floating like a cruise ship, half of a cruise ship just floating and that, shooting like and trying to keep off the Coast Guard attack and that shit. This is where I think all the money went on that. One of them films where they've definitely spent all the budget and that shit on the end fight scene because like there's loads. It's like a battle goes on and that, and like fucking loads of explosions and that shit, shooting like fucking that. I think they even got the army and Coast Guard out for it and that shit. But anyway, Thunderball is in his ship now and that, and like one of these professor dudes frees Donimo because he knows Thunderball dude's gone a bit nuts now and that because it's all going tits up and he's getting chased by the fucking National Guard and that. Well, anyway, Bond climbs onto the ship and that because he was holding on to like uh, a rudder sort of thing. And like, yeah, pretty good fight where he just goes in there kicking the shit out of like two of the guards and fucking Thunderbolt and that. He's proper really fucking knocking the shit out of them by like throwing shit and punching and that shit. Really giving it some fucking two-fisted manly action tales sort of thing. And then like he's fighting and that, but because like there's three of them, he's doing good and that, but like he kicks one of them off and that, but like the ship's going out of control and that because it's doing 50 knots or whatever, I don't know. And then like trying to like stop the ship from crashing and that, and it got going all over it, and that Bond gets like beaten up a bit and that shit, and like on the floor and that, and Thunderbolt has got like a gun at him and that, and he's gonna shoot him, but here's where it's like a bit soy in that shit, man. Donimo from behind shoots him with a spear gun and that, and like yeah, she kills him and that. And one of them where Bond didn't get cocked that much because he went in there beating the shit out of all three of them. So it wasn't that, but yeah, Bond's like, oh yeah, thanks for fucking like shooting him and that sort of thing. And then the ship's heading towards the like rocky sort of cliff sort of reef and that. And so Bond and the Bird, Donny Moore, and the um, like arms geek who was there to sort out the bomb code, jump and that shit. And then like American Air Force drop a life raft for Bond and Donimore. Yeah, the arms dude geek. He got himself a rubber ring, and you don't see him no more because Bond and Donimore are in this life raft. Where this is a bit crazy bit where Bond puts helium into this balloon that goes up on a wire that he puts a like fucking cord to of his back of his swimsuit. And now, if he hooks up Donny and it would have been more believable, but he don't. He just holds Donny and then like the plane comes and takes the helium balloon, big helium balloon sort of thing, with a metal cable, and then sweeps Bond and Donny off while Bond's just holding her, and he's like, "Yeah, I think we're bullshitting a bit there, but hey, yeah, Captain Marty Spock, yeah, got cherries sort of thing." Well, yeah, and that's all like the end. Goes off into the din 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 din. Well, yeah, crazy film, and as I say, great underwater battle scenes at the end. Most of the film is a bit slow, and I say bit of a slow burn. It's on for 2 hours and 5 minutes and all, so it's quite a long film. And so, yeah, you're looking at a good an hour and a half of the film not being all that exciting. Obviously, exciting parts in it, but more sort of like real spy sort of work where it's more infiltration than burning around in White Lotus spirits. But yeah, the last half hour of the film though does like kick off in that. Yeah, there is some good bits in it and some good fight scenes in that. Decent shootouts, as in underwater harpoon gun shootout, isn't that? Which at the time, it would probably been amazing. Like nowadays, people seen like underwater harpoon gun fights sort of thing. So yeah, great film though. Great film. There's the spoilers done on that. Yeah, it's because because right. Yeah, yeah, just going through all the spoilers and that. Well, yeah, no. Oh, oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Thunderball. Yeah, great film. Say got like jetpacks and underwater speedy harpoons and rockets coming off motorcycles and that shit. It's got all the action there, but it's not loads. For the first hour and a half, it's sprinkled. There's action sprinkled through it and that. But then the last half hour, it all kicks off with a fucking great underwater sort of harpoon fight scene. Yeah, probably not the best of Bond films, but it's still good. It's it's more sort of like the end. One of them where yeah, don't really make much like action scenes until the end. Yeah, yeah, Pickles LDG of Geeks Enjoy said, "Fuck YouTube, unsubbed him from me." Yeah, fucking do, fucking cunts, aren't they? Honestly, yeah. Obviously I'm subbed. It's LDG Pickles. He's been doing his 24-hour sort of streams and that. But yeah, I think there sort of thing. Because yeah, that's it. Thunderball, great film, great film. I think it's Diamonds Are Forever. Oh no, or it could be Majesty's Secret Service next one. Let's have a look. Come on. No, You Only Live Twice. Yeah. Then On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Then Diamonds Are Forever. And then my favourite, Live and Let Die. But that's into the Roger Moore. Still into the Sean Connery. But yeah, You Only Live Twice is the next Bond film, which is the one where he goes Chinese. But yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.